Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Mythology Divine Edition. Today we are going to be taking a look at the iconic Cthulhu. Cthulhu is generally the choice in most games, due to the fact that, in addition to being a late game powerhouse, it's also just cool, for lack of a better word. Cthulhu's myth unit, the Shoggoth, is one of the most powerful myth units in the game. Debatably the most powerful non-Titan myth unit, but of course it can still be one-hit killed by the one-hit kill myth units. It costs 7 population, the most of any normal myth unit, does 80 damage per second, assuming no armor. Has tremendous pierce armor, decent hack armor, and heals with every blow it does. If we see that it hits Yorikos, it heals. The reason why it starts at half health is to heal faster. It cannot be healed by any other method, though, only by attacking. It's not a healable unit. In addition, they can throw human soldiers and do tremendous damage, as they throw with around 3 to 4 times the power of a Cyclops. The only real weakness is that they're slow, they're expensive, and they take a long time to train. Even with cheat codes, they take a moment. The Cultist of Cthulhu is, in fact, a myth unit. So they're stronger, they have more HP, they do more damage, more armor, they do good damage against myth units, and they cost 1 favor in addition to the normal 50 food. Voices of Cthulhu have the Hecka Gigantes special effect, which is quite strong. Let's now check their technologies and send these guys over to the other side. Now you can stay here, Snake. Over to the other side of the map just to demonstrate what the god power does, since it is quite spectacular. Cthulhu's technologies are stellar alignment, which causes myth units to chain much faster and cost less favor, which is one of the ways to offset the weaknesses of the Shoggoth. And relay architecture, which allows temples to fire chain lightning. This does require this does not require guardian temples. So if you just want them to fire chain lightning and have a recovery time, that's fine. Just research relay architecture. So I'm going to do that now, just so that these guys can build a temple right here in the opponent's base. The Tainted Town Center tech is Dreamer's Blessing, which improves the hit points and armor of all myth units, which combined with stellar alignment makes Shoggoths just a very, very reliable and strong myth unit choice. In many ways, these are similar to Colossus, but even better against normal human units. Meaning that, similar to Hephaestus, if your opponent goes Cthulhu, it is often a good idea to go something that can counter them well. So, for example, Fire Giant are a good option, Mummies and Medusa, of course, are the best, and Atlanteans, Lampades are kind of good, but even a wild Shoggoth in your base is still a Shoggoth in your base, which is not a good thing. So if we build this, improve signal fires so that I can actually attack, we can see that it is, in fact, yeah, you guys can attack. As you can see, Cultists of Cthulhu, for being 1 population myth units, are actually quite strong. There we are, another lightning attack. See, look at that. Let's attack a villager now. But there we are, decent damage. And of course, they take bonus damage from myth units, so they're not ultimate units or whatever. So yes, anyways, let's get on to the fun bit. Let's start off with actually the ritual before we get to the really fun bit. Seastone Totem allows your Cultists of Cthulhu to construct Maws of the Deep. And what these do is essentially transforms nearby cultists into Cthulhu, which are spawn of Cthulhu that take 1 population and in fact inflict madness upon human units. They're not the strongest units out there, but they're pretty good, and they cannot be fought with humans because they will drive any human unit insane. The Maw of the Deep stays up permanently, but you can only have 1 at any one given time. They're also quite expensive, and like all rituals, they are fragile. Cthulhu cannot be controlled. And they've turned that slinger wild over there, even though the sling is still attacking, so it's not really much of a difference. Anyways, the big ticket item for Cthulhu is the fact that Cultists of Cthulhu can transform into Endbringers. Endbringers do fantastic amounts of damage. 200 crush damage a second, 150 hack damage a second. They have a lot of HP, a lot of armor. They boost health over time, and they create the sound effect that goes Ia Ia Cthulhu Fatagan, that can be heard anywhere across the map, just to let you know that there's an Endbringer doing something somewhere. And you can use Cthulhu's God power, the End, on an Endbringer. The instant blast will kill any nearby myth units, and after a little while, an Eldritch explosion that deals incredible damage to anything caught in the radius, except for buildings that are specifically under the protection of the gods. So for example, town centers often will survive a use of the End. Titan gates, titans, and wonders will also generally survive. But anything else will die. The AI is also well known for this suiciding units into this Eldritch fire. In terms of raw numbers, that is the most powerful god power in the game, so it's fitting that it costs 190 favor. Plus, in order to transform Cultists of Cthulhu into Endbringers, it takes another 27 favor. And that's just because we, removed 3 favor cost because of stellar alignment. Yeah, that's the big ticket item for Cthulhu. That's why he's so good late game, because in addition to myth unit spam, you get as many of those as you can afford. And if you can afford as many of them as you like, despite, I think they take a couple minutes to train, and they have a downtime of also a couple of minutes. Regardless, if you can afford it, that is a base killer. And you can do them as often as you like. You can snipe down Cultists of Cthulhu pretty easily, especially with heroes. Egyptian is particularly good for this, as they have priests. Nephthys is also good against that, because funeral rites priests can almost instantaneously kill an Endbringer if you have enough of them. But all in all, it is a major threat that you will need to play around if your opponent goes through Cthulhu. There's just no getting around that fact, that it is a strong god pick, and you will need to respect that decision. Anyways, that's all I've got. Have a good one.